for back-to-back stakes wins in today's Renaissance Stakes. And we know that Peter Miller won it last year. We do have a Classics carryover of just shy of $8,000, $7,972 to be exact. And Concrete Glory seeks the third straight win in the Commodore Stakes. And also, we know today is Smarty Jones Day. 21 total points are up for grabs in our feature. And as I mentioned, Sunday concludes our holiday meeting with a noon first post. So let's go ahead and get cracking. We got 11 races on the docket. Start out with 3-year-old fillies, maiden claiming 40,000, and they will contest 6 furlongs. Mark Casse looks to start off the day with Cravala DeVille in the opener. And I did a couple radio shows this morning and said, if you bet on Mark Casse, you're almost guaranteed to cash a ticket. And then somebody texted me and said, we're going to blame Mark Casse for global warming because he's so hot. So, but Andy, let's start with you, ladies first. And how do you see the opener, which is also the first leg of the first 50-cent pick 5?
Well, I tried to get a little bit of value to get the day going. You know, sometimes you got to take these shots in these maiden claiming races because the discrepancy of talent isn't massive between horses. So sometimes you just got to try and go for a little bit of value. So my top pick is going to be the number 2, NZ Holly for Rudolph Brizet. Tried maiden special weight company at Turfway Park, and pretty dismal performance, but I'm just going to attribute that to the synthetic. This filly is by Yaupon. Rudolph Brizet, 40% when he adds blinkers for the first time. So this filly is getting blinkers on, first time Lasix. Also, just looking at that December debut, how she's turned up empty. You know, it could have been a case where Lasix will actually help her today.
Agreed.
So first time Lasix, first time blinkers, and a Yaupon getting onto the dirt. I took her as the top selection here.
Now, Matt, you and I both used Andy's top pick, but a little further down, you and I with the same top pick going for the white hot barn of Mark Casse.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a positive with this filly right away. We talk about it sometimes, Andy, on our show. Streaks do occur very much in this game, and Mark Casse is on the best streak possible. I don't have a strong opinion in this race. I scratched into Cravala DeVille. But even though her form wasn't great coming into the last race, Mark's been firing on all cylinders. I thought that last race was very good. Actually ran on into a good pace and ran second to Big Red Machine, who I thought was a much better than average maiden $30,000 horse for a trainer, Lindsay Schultz, who coincidentally is also firing on all cylinders here. So Cravala DeVille's the pick. I do like your pick, though, Andy. I think getting to the dirt, blinkers, maybe second time out for a barn that thrives makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's a great way to start off the 11-race program. Race number 2, first leg of a 50-cent pick 4. Now, there doesn't look to be a whole lot of speed in the field, and we did have a major scratch of the number 8, Hicko, who is out, and Hicko was your 5-2 morning line favorite. That does allow the 13 to draw in the body of the race. Matt, I'm going to look to you for this Arkansas bred 4 and up, non-2 for the quarter, and they'll sprint 6 furlongs.
Well, definitely a big scratch here, to say the least. Probably one of the more major scratches on the whole card when you look at the horses scratching and who are contenders and who are pretenders. So I now scratching in Task, number 2, who lost by a head, going a mile and a 16th. You know, this horse has never won sprinting before, but he's hit the board a number of times. He's a 6-year-old lightly raced horse. Obviously, they've had to start and stop with him. But he's got a good closing kick for Ernie Witt, who's due for a win, and I'm going to pick him from off the pace. There is a good amount of pace in here, I think, to set things up for him.
Andy, it looks like you're going to go with Devil's Fork, wearing the Silks of Shortleaf Stable. What to you jumps out about this runner?
He just impressed me very much last time out. And Devil's Fork, bless him, he's not the brightest star in the sky. He's not. He has to be saddled outside. You know, he's a son of double Irish, you know, son of Tappet, and he certainly acts like it. But I think he needed the experience last time out. I thought it was a great refresher, and even despite being rowdy to saddle and everything, he still ran a really game second under Johan Rosado. So I like that Johan Rosado sticks aboard. He clearly knows the horse now, and I think that race sets him up for a really good run here. And just as you said, Matt, there's a ton of speed, so I think Devil's Fork will certainly be one to catch a piece of it.
We like to call it quirky.
Yeah.
He's a little quirky.
He's a little
Special
persnickety.
snowflake.
I like
Yes.
Persnickety, there you go. Quirky and persnickety. As Arkansas breds can be, because I'm an Arkansas bred myself. Race number 3 is for 3-year-olds, and we know that all the thoroughbreds had a birthday on January 1. This is a first-level allowance claim price of $125,000, and they're going to contest a mile in distance. Chad Allen is the lone runner in the field with a start at the meet, so his recency could potentially potentially play out here. We did have a scratch of the number 1, L. Rankin. And Andy, what's your thoughts on this very solid allowance?
This is a really good group overall, and I found it quite difficult, but I tried to go for a little value as well. I picked the 6 Treadstone for Greg Compton as my top selection. Liked the addition of blinkers, and I like that he was able to be a debut winner at Aqueduct. I thought it was quite a good performance. You know, he hesitated at the start a little bit, so the addition of blinkers should certainly help with that kind of greenness or hesitation. And he had a nice sweeping 5-wide move. I thought it was quite impressive. Hopefully, he's a little less green today, but he's by tap it out of an Empire Maker mare, so certainly should do well going 2 turns here.
Matt, your runner is coming out of a pretty significant stakes race and back in the overnight ranks. That's a big transition.
Well, I didn't pick this horse.
Oh,
There's
sorry.
a graphic error there.
Oh.
I picked Large Risk on top, number 9. I went 9, 5, 10, 7 here. Yeah, I don't know what that. If that was for the next race, yeah, I don't know why that was up there, but I picked Large Risk at a price. I'm also taking a price.
I love it.
In here. This horse claimed out of Brad Cox's barn. Not easy to improve off of Brad. Won by a length and a quarter for maiden 50. Started his career at a maiden special weight. And look who won the race. Incredible. He's one of the top 3-year-olds in this year's crop so far. I think this horse, when I watched him work the other morning on Oaklawn.com, I loved his work. Started slow like a lot of Sippy Contreras horses do and finish. He finished full of run. He's got ability here. And I think in a race like this where there are a lot of horses trying to find their spot, they're in-betweeners here. Maybe not good enough to run in the Smarty Jones, but they're hoping they can win this to spring them, board them to a next start. I don't think there's any world beaters in here. I don't think there's anybody needs to be scared of. So I'm going to take a shot with a horse that I thought ran a huge race first time out and is working like a runner that can do well for a barn that's 27% first off the claim.
Very impressive stats. As I mentioned at the top of the show, 3 stakes on the 11 race card, and the first one that we will get to see in the paddock is the Renaissance Stakes. It's just the 4th running, and it is for 3-year-olds sprinting 6 furlongs in distance. On paper, kind of looks like a 2-horse race with Dirty Rich and Obliteration as they book in the field, but one thing that is going to be guaranteed, there will be a hot, wicked pace on the front end. Andy, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely, and I'm sticking with the favorite here, the number 6 Obliteration. I've been very impressed with this horse since the very beginning and totally understand the move by the Steve Asmussen barn, getting him onto the turf at Kentucky Downs first. Obviously, you know, very attractive purses at Kentucky Downs. I'm sure that's what led to the decision to put him on the grass. And, you know, to the barn's surprise, he did well, so they kept going, ran him in the Indian Summer, and ended up finishing 4th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, which I think he kind of had a rough trip, but no doubt about this horse being better on the dirt. I mean, he won the Sanford by 10.5 lengths, 2nd in the Saratoga Special, so I think this horse is a deserving favorite, and I'm excited to see him get onto the dirt.
Yeah, really impressive. Steve has said that this horse is definitely better on dirt, and if they had a juvenile sprint on the main track, would certainly have been in that field. Matt, I see that you're on Obliteration as well. If my count is right, Asmussen has won 124 stakes at Oaklawn and just racked another one up yesterday. So very impressive. Matt, what do you like about Obliteration?
And he's looking for 125, and I think he's got a great shot to do it. You know, I agree with everything you guys have said. This horse is drawn outside of the other speed. I think that gives him an advantage as well, to note that. He's got a lot of class. I mean, there was a time where this horse, first 2 races were fantastic. He was the early hopeful favorite. Big race at Saratoga, and things didn't pan out. But he's a very nice horse. He likes the dirt. I like this move. That's why Steve's so good at getting horses to get better with time. He's not throwing them in the deep end again. He's going to bring them back and maybe find a little bit easier to try to get that confidence booster.
Yeah, confidence booster is a very big thing. It does exist. Runners in race 5 hoping to get that confidence boost, making their first trip to the winner's circle. This is a maiden allowance for 3-year-olds, and they'll sprint 6 furlongs. Pretty significant scratch here as well of the morning line favorite. Won't compete today, and also scratch both also eligibles. And this is a pretty expensive group of maidens too. We see some big sale prices, but somebody will make that trip to the winner's circle and hopefully ring the bell. Andy, talking about maidens, majority in this group, or some have experience, but other first-time starters, do you lead towards a first-time starter, or do you want to get a race under their belt usually?
I think it's certainly helpful in any case to have some experience, and that's why with the scratch of the 6, I look to the number 11, Mr. Fancy Pants, as my top selection.
I love that name.
and he's aptly named. I've actually gotten on this horse a bunch in the mornings for Norm.
Oh, nice.
Popped him out of the gate multiple times at Churchill Downs and had the opportunity to get on him last week, and I'm happy to say that race experience did him well. He's a talented individual. You know, he's a little bit green sometimes, but he's always been a heavy horse as well, and I was happy to say the girth was not so tight the last time I got on him, so the race fitness-wise has benefited him, but the experience and I think the first-time Lasix as well will help this horse significantly. Like I said, he's a heavier individual, so having that Lasix will kind of help him tighten up. Norm, 43% first-time Lasix, so that's a good stat there. But I love Mr. Fancy Pants. I think he's a talented individual, and I think he's got a good shot today.
He came out of that race where Decode was the winner, who was pointing towards the $1 million Southwest. When we come back for the Classic meet, another standout was 54-yarder, and your runner, Matt, comes out of that same race.
He does, and look, the horse who ran 4th in that race, Spirit of Royal, won our maiden race yesterday, which is a positive. I'm on the very same angle as Andy's top pick, Mr. Fancy Pants, just with a different horse. He looked to me like a horse that needed that first race. $800,000 purchase by Charlatan, had a real fast work, 46 and change at Churchill leading up to that race, but the foundation in the works wasn't as strong as maybe some other horses in the race, and he got in a good position early, and then he just got tired. He just looked to me like he needed the race. So I don't love the rail for Predator's Ball. Other than that, I see him maybe taking it more than a big leap forward in lifetime start number 2.
Yeah, really impressive group of maidens. Before we get to race number 6, which does kick off our $1 Classics, we're going to take a quick break.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere. Exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Lyra, Perfect Magic, Kale's Angel continue to battle, and Kale's Angel has gutted it out to win the Renaissance. Lyra, Cole Battle is opening up. 3-4 lengths coming to the finish. And for the Lonnie Briley barn, it's Cole Battle and the Smarty Jones.
Welcome back to the Smarty Jones edition of Oaklawn. Today, very happy to have Andy Biancone giving her professional analysis. Also, our track announcer, Matt Ditterman. A really good group assembled for race number 6. This is starter 50 at a mile, and this also is the first leg of the Classics with a carryover of more than $7,900. And everybody wants to play today. We got a full field of 12, and they are ready to go. Matt, where do you start off with the classics.
I'm taking sort of a shot here with a horse that's actually not high on the morning line, Master Mule. Number 10 for Randy Matthews from Kentucky. This horse actually ran a couple of good races at this type of level, sprinting. He's never routed before. The Dam was a sprinter. One sibling was winless by Army Mule out of a midshipman mare. Mile should be no problem for him, though. Last time out, he ran a poor race in a first-level allowance. Not only was he running out of his conditions, but he also ran on synthetic. And coming from Golden Gate, I've said it before on the show, some horses, for whatever reason, they just don't take the synthetic. So if they run poorly on synthetic, I give them a pass, especially if he's shipping here. Randy Matthews doesn't often ship horses here, so if he does, that tells me the spot's right for this horse, and they think he's a dirt horse. Maybe they don't think he likes the synthetic at Turfway. The question is the route. He also draws an outside post at a mile. Not easy to win from there, but coming out of those sprints, he'll probably be more tactical. He comes from off the pace in sprints. In a route, he's probably going to be a little more prominent, and that should help him get a good run into the first turn.
Andy goes with a horse that has had some success here at Oaklawn, and I'm a card-carrying member of the Sippy Contreras fan club. Absolutely love him, and is hoping to improve, but I like that you went for a price as well.
Yeah, I just thought this is such a good wagering race. There's really no super standout. It's very fair and wide open. So
Agreed.
I'm with Matt on taking a price. The number 3, Stoke the Fire, will be my top selection. Clearly, this horse's record at Oaklawn speaks for himself. 4 runs, 1 win, 2 seconds. I'd say that's pretty dang good. And last time out, I just think he needed that race. He hadn't run since April. It'd been a long time. So that is a race that he can certainly build off of coming into this one. And I do think it's going to turn out to be a productive race. Riddle Solver won that race, who's running later on in the card today. I think he's quite a nice horse. But I think Stoke the Fire certainly improves. He was just green and weird in that race. He broke out. He got caught inside. So happy that Manny Esquivel rides back, and I think he's better off in this spot with that run under his belt.
A nice little family connection there with Sippy and Manny. As I mentioned, we have 3 races on the card. Race 7 could be a race, and it probably will be in February in the no double, as I anticipate this being a prep for that stakes. This is Archiebreds 4 and up, a first level allowance going 6 furlongs. Nobody in for the tag. And Matt, we always say, if we're talking Archiebreds, we're talking full fields.
A full field indeed. And to kick off our late pick 4 sequence, I'm going to pick the favorite in here, Nikolai. He actually worked out of the gate on December 6th. It was a massive work. I mean, a really good work from him. Even though the time doesn't scream off the page, I watched it on Oaklawn.com. It was a really good work. And he ran like a horse that worked that well in the mornings last time against Open Allowance Company. This is theoretically a class drop, but against state breds here, because he's eligible for this race. The only concern I have, does he bounce? The bounce theory, of course, suggests a horse runs a big race, they wheel back quickly, and then they regress, especially this one, 3rd start in the form cycle here. But if he can run anywhere close to his last race, and I think he's the speed of the speed, I think he can clear off. There's a couple other horses that have front running speed. I think he's just quicker in the early stages. I think if he runs anything close to that last race, he's going to be tough.
Well, Andy, I see you go with Zippy Mark. Hope Manny Esquivel maybe have a really good day today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's got a lot of live shots. I am trying to be the wise guy here. Disclaimer, Nikolai is going to be very tough, and if I wasn't such a wise guy, I probably would have put him on top. But yes, I do put the number 12, Zippy Mark, on top. Just think this horse comes out of some really good races. I mean, he's an Archie-bred, but he's only been against State Bred Company twice. He's been running against Open Company in the New York circuit all throughout the summer. He was running up at Saratoga and really running contentiously against those good horses. I do think Kenny McPeak is good off this kind of a layoff as well. He hits at about 15%, but this horse loves Oaklawn Park as well. 4 runs here, 2 wins, and I just like him getting in against state breds today.
A really good field as we move on to race number 8, 4 and up, a first level allowance set to contest a mile and a 16th. We haven't seen render judgment since running in the Kentucky Derby. He returns here off a 245-day layoff. Some horses need a race under the belt. Some just jump out of the gate and make that ride to the winner's circle. But Matt, where do you see this one? This is a very competitive group.
It's a fun group here. I'm going to pick Super Cruise in here and try again. This horse, last time I picked him at 9-5. And I said on the show last time, Nancy, you'll remember this, that I said, this horse, I think he was 6 or 8 to 1. I said today's the day to play him because he's going to probably run pretty good, and then he's going to be lower odds if he doesn't win at this level. He ran pretty good and he didn't win. And he's third now. He's 3 to 1 on the morning line. Takes a 7.5 month break into that last race. Second off the break, I really do think this horse can improve. It's not always easy to run against tough foes like this. He was lightly raced, first start against winners off the layoff. I think the talent's there. He's a little bit of a quirky horse to ride, I would imagine, and even just running on the track, he makes these early moves. Sometimes you got to time it just right with him, but I'm hoping that this horse can improve off that race off the shelf here.
Andy's going to go with a Norm Cassie contender, and Santana in the irons, who is 1 win away from 800 Oaklawn wins. So
Wow.
another milestone could very easily be seen today with Riddle Solver.
Yes, and I think you can absolutely get that milestone with Riddle Solver today. Riddle Solver is actually my best bet of the day. Now, I'm going to go on a little bit of a storytime tangent. I've been galloping Riddle Solver all summer. So since Norm claimed him from Andrew McKeever and really did right by this horse, gave him some time off because I don't think he was the soundest horse previously, but really gave him a lot of time. He had been working very well at Churchill throughout the fall. I was like, oh my gosh, when are we going to run this horse? When are we going to run this horse? When are we going to run this horse? And came to Oaklawn, absolutely aired. The time prior, he didn't wear blinkers at Churchill, and he's kind of a little bit of a looky horse. So blinkers went on last time out here at Oaklawn, and he absolutely romped. But I've been getting on him this past week, and oh my gosh, I thought this horse was good at Churchill. He's an absolute bear here.
I love
he
that.
loves Oaklawn Park. He's walking around like he's King Kong. I've never seen him, I've never felt him move better or have more confidence or be more fresh. So I think that run sets him up for a great effort today. I think he deserves the step up in class, and he's going to be my top pick at a little bit of a price.
It's the water.
It's the water.
It's
He
the
loves-
hot spring.
He
It's the
loves
water.
hot springs. Some horses do, and Riddle
Yeah.
Solver. Fun fact: his barn name is Peppy the King Prawn, or I call him
Peppy
that.
the King Prawn.
Look up the meme. He's a Sesame Street character. Very cute.
Really?
Peppy the King Prawn. Yeah.
Not a character when we probably watch Sesame Street. Is this a new character?
I don't know, but I'll show you guys pictures later. But
That's
look it up. Peppy the
hysterical.
King Prawn.
We got to
And-
post a picture of that.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
character
Derek's going to
thing,
look it up
whatever
right
it
now.
is,
Yeah.
We'll have it. I love the inside scoop. Because like she said, she gets on these horses in the morning, and some horses really do take to Oaklawn. I remember Phil Sims when he had Don't Tell Sophia. Something about coming to Oaklawn just really hypes up these horses, and they look better, they feel better, and they run better. Race 9 is the Commodore Overnight Stakes. It is the second running, and it is for 4 and up, going 6 furlongs in distance. This is also the first leg of the $3 Get Out Pick 3. Did have a scratch of the number 10, Lucius Verus, and this is going to lead into our key race, the Smarty Jones. So, Andy, tell me your thoughts on the Commodore.
Oh my gosh, what a tough race top to bottom. I had a very tough time picking a top selection, but I am going to go with our defending champ, the number 5, Concrete Glory. Man, this horse is just so good. And he's the type of horse who gets better with runs under his belt, so I don't expect a regression off that big effort at Churchill Downs. This is a horse who's very capable of running an 89, 80-something buyer off the layoff and improve again next time out. Safi Joseph has done a phenomenal job with him and really does a great job maintaining his condition, so he's going to be my top pick.
That race, his last win, produced 3 next out winners, and I like when horses can put wins together. And Matt, we talk about that confidence, and that certainly is the case today with Concrete Glory.
Very much so. And we talk about old pros a lot on this show, and he certainly won. 17 for 39 with 8 other in the money finishes. It doesn't matter what level you run at. You don't do that unless you got heart to try. This horse, he was born to be a racehorse, clearly, and he's a very fast horse. There is other pace in here, but he can deal with that pressure on the lead. He's very classy. Safi, whenever he sends horses here, they always seem fit and ready. I think this is like a picture-perfect spot for a horse like him, and I'm sure Safi looked at the condition book, saw this race, and said, I know exactly what kind of horse I'm going to run here.
He is my second favorite Bajan.
Safi Joseph?
Yes. The
Who's your
first,
first?
Rocco Bowen.
Of course.
Of course.
Hello,
Bowen.
Rocco.
Hello, Rocco, if
We
you're
miss
watching
you,
from
but we're thinking
Ohio.
of you. He's doing well in Ohio.
He's doing very well in Ohio. Happy to see my brother win some races. The 10th is the 19th running of the Smarty Jones. A lot of amazing horses have come through Oaklawn, making that journey to the Triple Crown, primarily the Kentucky Derby. 21 total points on the line. Did have a scratch of the number 3, Boca Beach Club, and Some horses stepping up in class, taking on Stakes Company for the first time, but it's a really competitive group. And I think this race will make or break how some horses proceed with their 3-year-old campaign.
Definitely. This is one of those races. You might see a couple of horses out here that end up running in the Rebel or the Arkansas Derby. Then you might see a couple in here that they've done okay, but it's time to take a class drop. It just all depends, or maybe find an allowance of some sort, maybe stay in lower stakes ranks depending on how they run. I'm going to take a little bit of a chance here with strategic risk at 6-1. When you look at this horse's pedigree, if you saw him as a baby and you looked at his pedigree, you'd say, okay, this horse wants to go routing one day on the dirt. He's by Noble Bird out of an Fleet Alex Marin. It took him 5 tries to finally get into a route on the dirt, and this horse thrived. Now, he was running against Florida breds last time at Gulfstream, and sometimes horses really have an affinity for Gulfstream, and they go to other tracks and they're not able to produce those numbers. I love what I saw. He's going to stalk the pace in a race where I think there's a good amount of pace in here, and I loved his kick. Javier Castellano, he was aboard last time. He liked him so much, he's going to ride here today, this horse, so I'm picking strategic risk for the red-hot Mark Casse barn. I think he's going to get a good trip. And hey, just because he's a Florida bred, we see a lot of really nice state breds, so I'm not concerned he's running against the open Kentucky type of
Yes,
horse.
we do. Andy, the connections of Universe might feel a little deja vu as some of the partnership campaign Mystic Dan, who was our Kentucky Derby winner several years ago and already has points for the Kentucky Derby starting gate. So what is it that you like about Universe? Because he's just really been in the deep waters.
Yes, he really has, and he's had to settle for second best in his last 2 runs, both in the Grade 3 Streak Sense and the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club, but I think he got beat by some very good horses. Matt, you said it yourself, incredible. One of the nicest horses on the Derby Trail so far, and I think similar circumstances with Further Ado, a very, very nice horse trained by Brad Cox and bred by Spendthrift Farm. But Universe, I think, just really impressed me. I saw him physically at Churchill Downs last time out, and I loved him. He is a beautiful horse, and he certainly has the makings of a classic type of horse. So I'm taking him as a top pick, but I definitely think this is kind of a wide-open rendition of the Smarty Jones.
Yeah, Kenny McPeak does very well getting the maiden broken fairly early in careers and then immediately jumping them into Stakes Company. You sink or swim, and this horse definitely swam. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Race 11 is our nightcap, and it is for 4 and up, a first level allowance set to go 6 furlongs in distance. Did have a couple scratches as we go out the night with a very nice $115,000 allowance. Matt, how do you see it?
Well, I'm going to try to be the favorite here, 5 of somewhere. This horse won for fun for $25,000, claimed out of that race. If he can run back to it, the numbers suggest he's going to be right there against these allowance foes. But I'm going to try to beat him in this race. I picked Stiglitz on top. He's number 11 in this race. Stiglitz, the son of Spun to Run. His last 2 races spring on the dirt for Phil Diamato have been better than ever, so he's going in the right direction. Comes off a length loss to Pursuit Never Sleeps, who's a pretty nice allowance horse. If he were eligible for a race like this, he'd be favored in this race. This horse has speed, but we saw him stalk and win a race when he broke his maiden, and that was actually here at Oaklawn. So this horse's best races by far, trying a bunch of different things over time. It's sprinting, it's on dirt, it's also here at Oaklawn and in Kentucky, and I think this horse can stalk from the outside. I don't think he needs to be on the lead to run his best race. Great recent form. He's 1 for 14. That's a little bit of a concern. I wouldn't even be surprised, by the way, if this horse at 7-2 drifts up from that morning line. Wouldn't surprise me.
Andy, Map to the Stars was claimed last out, and I like when trainers step them up and protect them so they cannot be claimed next out. This is a step up, and they're wanting some return on their investment, I think.
Yes, and I absolutely think a Map to the Stars is capable of stringing back-to-back victories, even with the step up in class. This is a horse who's very competitive. He's very game. I know him. I've seen him a million times. Like, I can picture him perfectly in my head, and he's never, I felt like, looked the best. Like, I've never paddock picked him. He's just always kind of got a dry coat and kind of a lighter frame. So I'm very curious to see what he's going to look like today in the barn of Armando Hernandez, who is 58% first off the claim. And it's
That's
out of
amazing.
I know, and out of quite a decent sample size. That's a sample size
7
of
for
12.
12. Yeah.
So I think I'm very curious to see what Map to the Stars look like, but I know he's a game horse, a competitive horse who has that tenacity. He's capable of coming from off the pace. He's capable of being forward. It doesn't matter. He always tries, and he has tried and even without looking maybe necessarily the best. So I am very curious to see what he looks like today, and he's going to be my live long shot of the day.
There you go. I like him too.
Thankfully, it's not a beauty contest.
Yeah, not always, right? But
As long as they go fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be fast. You just have to be faster than the ones you're in with.
You know what? Every car can go 100 miles an hour. You
Yes,
know what?
it
If
can.
you're driving a regular little rinky-dink truck, if they go 100 miles an hour, you can win a race.
11 races on the docket. We've also put together a $20 show bet bonus parlay, our long shot and top pick of the afternoon. There you can see Matt goes with the final 4 races, and I did a Mark Cassie parlay.
There you go.
I'm going to cash.
Ooh.
Long shot play of the day for Matt is large risk in the third. I'm going to go violence in red. Top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Obliteration, looking to get the job done. Well, I'm going to go in the opener with Cassie Cravala DeVille. Also, let's take a look at Andy's best bet of the day. I love it. Riddle solver. She's been on this horse. She knows. Is this the quirky one?
Peppy the King Prawn.
Pe-
This is
and
the
somebody's
Sesame
already
Street
texted
character.
me, Peppy the King Prawn. Yeah, that's how great it is because we have such faithful followers and watchers. The long shot, she just discussed race 11, the number 9 map to the stars. And I just saw a few stars a moment ago. We saw DJ Williams and his lovely girlfriend who is on our Oaklawn sports commercials. She's a former Miss Arkansas, and Ebony Mitchell, we're very happy to have you. And I think you are part of the new racing power couple.
Oh,
I've determined that. You didn't know where I was going with that, did you?
Power couple. Wow.
No, it's a true power couple. Congratulations. Andy got engaged. We saw the beautiful pictures of engagement, and he did good.
Keith did good. Oh, heavy.
Your
No, I was
hand's
kidding.
too heavy. Yeah, right.
Go Keith. Thank you to all the trainers who made that happen. Okay.
Yeah, right. We want to remind you that there is racing tomorrow with a noon first post. We've also got Win the Wheel today. So make sure Matt will be announcing those names after some of the races, and you have 10 minutes to get to the promotions area. So it's a busy day. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. So for Matt Dinnerman and Andy Biancone, I'm Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing here on Smarty Jones Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask you to please rise for the National Anthem. After the National Anthem, our Arkansas Secretary of State, Cole Jester, will be unveiling America's 250th flag. This will mark the first ever unveiling of the flag in the state of Arkansas, right here at Oaklawn. Be part of a once-in-a-generation moment. Join us on the racing apron and witness history unfold.
I think of some good advice that I've received is you can't get something for nothing. Life doesn't work that way. When we look around and we see this country, the freedom we have, the prosperity we have, the ability, whether it be to vote, to get redress from our government, or to be free from those who would oppress us around the world, we have something beautiful and incredibly meaningful. And as we know, that was not free. Instead, it was paid for in blood and sacrifice and hardship, whether that be in Lexington, Concord, Yorktown, Gettysburg, on the beaches of D-Day. We have seen generation after generation of Americans pass the baton forward in our 250-year history of freedom. And we are proud of every single one of those years. Something Arkansans know very well is that we stand on the shoulders of giants who've passed forward something good, beautiful, and meaningful in our history and our heritage of the United States of America. And today we are here to say we appreciate that, we are thankful for that, we have not forgotten their sacrifices, but we are going to go into 2026 with a spirit of reverence, of doing the little things right, and of deep, deep gratitude for those who have come before us. In that spirit, we're now going to raise for the first time in our state America's 250th year anniversary flag. Let's raise that flag.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and wagering on Oaklawn Park. It's Smarty Jones Day here at Oaklawn 2026. 11 races on the docket today. Early first post of noon. You can now get out your pens, pencils, and programs because we now have today's changes. Here they come. Our dirt track is listed as fast today. Some cloudy skies, but the sun is coming out now. 47 degrees currently. East winds coming in. Again, our dirt track is fast this afternoon. Here come the changes on the 11-race Smarty Jones card. The first race today begins the early pick 5 sequence. Scratch number 6 on ramp and scratch number 14, Santiana. Numbers 6 and 14 both out of race number 1. Number 13 draws into the race and will run. The second race begins the early pick 4 sequence. Scratch number 8, Hicko, and scratch number 14, Battle of the Ravine. Numbers 8 and 14 out of race 2. Number 13, Outlaw Run, draws into the race and will run. In the third race today, beginning the middle pick 5, races 3 through 7, number 1, L. Rankin, has been scratched. Scratch number 1, L. Rankin from race number 3. And also in the third race, number 2, Bricklin is 3 pounds overweight. 7, Opus Uno, 3 pounds over. 10, Chad Allen, 3 pounds overweight. In the fourth race on the program, one of 3 stakes today. This is the $150,000 Renaissance Stakes, the fourth running for 3-year-olds at 6 furlongs. Number 5, Canned Heat, is 1 pound overweight. Over in the fifth race, beginning of pick 5, races 5 through 9, scratch number 6, Silver Prince, and scratch the also eligibles numbers 13 and 14. Numbers 6, 13, and 14, all out of race number 5. The sixth race begins the $1 Class 6, races 6 through 11, in race number 6. Scratch the also eligibles numbers 13 and 14. Number 9, Copper Echo, is 1 pound overweight. Number 10, Master Mule, 1 pound overweight as well. The seventh race begins the late pick 5 sequence. Scratch the also eligibles there. Numbers 13 and 14, both out of race number 7. In the eighth race on the program today, start of the late pick 4. Scratch the also eligibles, numbers 13 and 14. The ninth race is the $135,000 Commodore Overnight Stakes, the second running for 4-year-olds and upward, going 6 furlongs. In race 9, scratch number 10, Lucius Verus. Number 10, Lucius Verus, scratched out of race number 9. The 10th race is our big one today, the $250,000 Smarty Jones Stakes, the 19th running for 3-year-olds, 21 Kentucky Derby points being awarded to the top placers. In race number 10, the Smarty Jones, scratch number 3, Boca Beach Club. Number 3, Boca Beach Club, is scratched out of race number 10. Also in the 10th race, number 9, Sleeping on Freedom, is 1 pound overweight. The nightcap is race number 11. In the finale, scratch number 4, Run Jalen Run, scratch number 7, JP Race, and scratch the also eligibles, numbers 13 and 14. Numbers 4, 7, 13, and 14, all out of the nightcap, race 11. Those are all the changes, ladies and gentlemen. Post time in 21 minutes for the opener on Smarty Jones Day here at Oaklawn. Enjoy your afternoon.
Want to turn small bets into bigger paydays without taking huge risks?
Let's break down the Show Bet Parlay, a fun, low-risk way to stay in the action all day long.
First, a quick refresher.
A show bet means your horse just needs to finish in the top 3. It's not as flashy as a win bet, but your chances of cashing in are much higher.
And when you bet on track, you get even more back thanks to Oaklawn's Show Bet bonus.
A parlay means you're taking your winnings from one race and betting them on the next. So if your horses keep finishing in the top 3, your profit keeps growing.
Here's how a Show Bet parlay might look.
start with $10 in race 1. Your horse finishes second and pays $3.20 to show. Now you've got $16.
Bet that's $16 in race 2. Your horse runs third and pays $2.80 to show. That bumps you up to $22.40.
Bet the $22 in race 3, and if that horse hits the board, your parlay keeps rolling.
Want to play it smart? Here's how.
Choose consistent, reliable horses, not wild long shots.
Set a goal. Maybe cash out after 3 or 4 wins in a row.
You can even play as a group. Share the bets and share the fun.
It's simple, low risk, and builds fast.
So grab a program, find your top contenders, and give the Show Bet Parlay a try next time you're at Oaklawn.
but you just don't understand. Girl, you've been charging by the hour for your love. I'll try to show how much I love you. Still believing in romance. You're taking way too many chances with my love. I remember when you used to be the talk of the town. All you get is lonely. Turn your love around. Don't you turn me down. I can show you how. Turn your love around. Without the woman, I can make it, but I need the girl to stay. Oh, don't you let the lady take it all away. When the woman needs a taste of yesterday, if he stays at home, all they get is lonely. Turn your love around. Don't you turn me down. I can show you how. Turn your love around. Oh, girl, you know me. I'm alone until you show me that you're still in love with me. We're gonna make it. We're gonna take it back where we belong. Turn your love around. Don't you turn me down. I can show